But thoughts, honestly, I think it was by far not just like in the project. This might be over dramatic, but not in the project term sense, but like in my life sense. Honestly, one of the best experiences I've ever had. I don't know what happened, but like everything we did and everything we talked about, those late night talks, that really good conversation we had, and I kind of expected everyone to be at the same place I was and like kind of thinking the same things. But like during reflections and like sometimes we talked in like smaller groups and we should have like in the big groups, like all these different like perspectives. I don't know, I think that was the best thing that we had. Like with Selena, she talked about like Belen and like all these other things. I never thought of that until I left, until I got back and we talked about it. And I think that really like opened my, I don't want to say opened my eyes, because I don't know, this trip really made me question a lot of things that I did and made me think about like why I would do this, or like I don't know. Thoughts on this trip is that this was a great experience and I am so freaking blessed that I got to do this and that I can't wait to see what's gonna happen next. And I'm excited for that. One moment that really stood out for me was at the orphanage. I know like you kind of talked about how like these kids like crave touch and they crave like that connection with people. And I never really like understood that until the kid I was with most of the time, Michael, and how every time he'd try to, like we'd hold hands or I'd like carry him, he'd always squeeze my hand and he'd like never let go. Or when I held him, he'd like nestle his head in my neck, and like every time like I was around him, he'd smile. And I think that was the best connection I've had with a kid this entire trip. Like I've had really good connections, and I've tried to make every kid I've talked to or like showed how to do God's eyes, like make them feel like I'm here for you, like you're the center of my world right now, like I'm here for you. And leaving the orphanage, I like sat in the back by the window and I kind of just like took my head and like kind of looked out the window, and I don't know, I got really, really emotional and like teary-eyed, and I was like thinking like, I don't know, like that was honestly such an amazing time. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be fairly easy. This might sound bad, but I felt like I was gonna go in there, I'm gonna do this and that, and you know what, I'm gonna come out like this and that and that. And I think those things really crippled me the first day. And like I know we talked about it, and I know that like with my learning objectives, like being honest and open with everybody, like I really didn't do that the first day. Like not the first day, but like the first village when we were in Napo. That was the first village. Yeah. And I felt like I was just, I don't know, I felt that I wasn't doing the best to my ability. And I think after the first village, and then after reflection, and then after talking with you and like Lauren and Molly and Lisa, I really tried very, very hard the next couple times. And I think that I not proved it to myself, but I took ownership of my feelings that first day and sat down in bed and was like, this was not okay. Like I got the opportunity to come on this experience, and why aren't I taking advantage of that? Like why wasn't I doing all the things I should have done? And I think doing that and kind of like reading over my objectives again, I really did do what I wanted to do. I was open with the kids. When I first saw them, I'd come and hold their hand. Some of them like ran away, but that's a different story. But I tried, like I put myself out there. I wanted to make sure that every time I went to the village, every time I was working with the kids, I was taking every opportunity I could to make them know that I was here for them. And right now at this moment, I'm feeling this is not, I feeling like kind of sad, kind of talking about it, kind of like the feeling that what if I don't have the opportunity to go back, or like I know a lot of things that I was stressing about before I came home was like, am I gonna have the same feeling of like peace and like the same feeling I have with these kids when I come back home? Will I have the same feeling of wanting to come back and wanting to help and wanting to work with this amazing organization? And I feel right now that at this moment I have those same feelings. I have that sense of like I want to do something more, and I think that's answering your question. I'm not entirely sure, but right now I would describe the trip as, honestly, it's overboard, but one of the best experiences that I've had so far. And I know I'm young, I have so much more to like do, I have so much more of life to see, and we're all very privileged. We haven't experienced a lot of life, and I know that, but at this time right now, I think that honestly this was one of the best things I've done.